what's happening in the greenhouse on this May 9th day. Well, we've got our rice that Dean started. There's 3 different varieties of rice that will need to go into a wet, boggy place. We've got tomatoes that are already blooming, and this pimento pepper that wintered over in the house with the houseplants was very happy to get outside, and looks like it got pollinated very quickly. The feverfew and the sweet William. The sweet William only bloomed about a week earlier than the feverfew, or the sweet William only bloomed about a week earlier than the sweet William outside. But I don't see any feverfew outside that's blooming. So we've definitely got a head start here. I used some feverfew in a bouquet today that I gave to the postmistress to put on the deck. So we have tomatoes. The okra is just popping through. Cucumbers. The moss roses for the garden around the waterfall. Eggplants. Peppers. This is rainbow chard that needs to get taken out and put into a flat, pricked out. And this is Malabar spinach. It needs to get, it likes it hot, and it's going to climb, so it'll be a nice thing to put along the fence. I'm starting the peas, or the beans, in these toilet paper rolls so that they aren't disturbed very much when they go outside. Basils, lots of squash, different kinds of squash. Some summer squash and winter squash and zucchetta. And 1 okra from the first planting of okras. That was the only one who survived. More peppers on the end here. More strawberries, a whole pot of strawberries. There's some scarlet runner beans that are still on the pot that haven't been planted yet. And on the floor, we've got more squash plants. The kale that wintered over, it's 3-year-old kale. The beets that I think just made greens, and the carrots. Tomatoes, very happy tomatoes that it's nice and warm in here. There was a whole couple rows of potatoes in there, and it looks like you're supposed to pick the potato or dig them when they start drying out. And they're looking kind of peaked, so I probably need to water the actual greenhouse more than I have. This is rainbow chard, and it's starting to go to seed instead of making leaves. Lots of the garlic chives. And the other view, some more cucumbers, squash. These begonias really like to be in the greenhouse, so I had them outside. They didn't do so well. There's a little Tulsi basil that made it through the winter. I'll go down here, and then we're going to turn around to go down the other side. I've got 2 kiwi vines that I'm still in pots that need to go in the ground outside. I'm beginning to trust the weather. See, this begonia was outside, and it wasn't nearly as happy as the ones in here, so I thought I'd bring it in. There's nothing actually new planted in here. There was some kales, there's mints, there's a tomato that wintered over. It was a volunteer in one of the pots that was in the house for the winter, so it got, and this one too, we've got flowers on it already. So I think I'm just going to plant that right in the ground here and let it continue to be in this environment that it's used to. And this is a grass that I'll put by the greenhouse, the waterfall. There's mints. There's a bunch of the willows that I got at a home and garden show and rooted them all. So I need to divide them and put them into their own pots. And up here there's, oh, this is so exciting. This is the castor bean plants. They just popped up today. Yesterday they weren't even showing. And these are red noodle beans. And look at this pretty, these are those little alpine strawberries. They like it cool. So they're producing even as we speak. There's some Pennsylvania Dutch. These are the little alpine strawberry plants that I started in, I believe, in January. They've taken a very long time to get started. These are such a tiny little leaf. And there's some celosia babies, some sedum, some more squash, and some nasturtiums, geraniums, more squash plants on the side here, and something, this is a root crop. It looks like a black carrot, Scorzonera. And I was just reading in the perennial vegetable book that it actually, if you don't pull it up, the greens are edible all winter long. So it's a good thing to plant with your winter garden. So that's the greenhouse. I'm going to turn around and do a span of it from this direction. These are the shelves. I've got a nice potting area here. Oops, somebody left their shirt here that was helping me. So I can pot up my plants here. I've got all the things that I need, the tools, the labels, all of those things to make it very easy, and a nice stock of pots that are very handy and close to the potting area. So that's coming out of the greenhouse. I started a package of lettuce seeds called Slow Bolt in this pot. And these are Globe Amaranth. And this one's something very, it's a wild huckleberry. So it's got a berry, and it looks like poison nightshade. So it's a little scary, but I started them from seed, and they taste really good. Just the tiniest little berry. So I'm gonna stop now. Bye.